Hi, Stan The Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states, including the beautiful one you're sitting in. So the question is, how does the economy affect annuity rates? That's really kind of a basic question to a very detailed answer because annuities, they're not all the same. I know that I hate all annuities ads are out there. I hate all trucks is what I would say, or I hate all restaurants. It's crazy. The economy affects annuities differently, just like it affects everything differently. But we're going to go through that. Before that, though, I would encourage you to go to my site, theannuityman.com. You can do a few things there. Number one is under the guise of education. You can get my books, these 6 owner's manuals. I'll send you for free in this very snazzy gold foil mailer. Producer, you can get that. And I'll send those for free and under no obligation. You can also schedule a call with me. So we can have a one-on-one discussion. That's the best thing you can do because I'm going to tell you if you need an annuity or not. I'm going to shoot it straight so that there's no BS, there's no sales pitches. We're going to talk like pros, which is, I'm assuming, what you want. And you should never just buy hopes and dreams and unicorns chasing the butterflies. So the other thing, too, is hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell thing that's on YouTube. That'll give you updates because I put these things out a lot. I also have a podcast called Fun with Annuities. But enough about that. Let's hit the music. All right, producers, so people send me t-shirts because, they're finding out we're just getting this YouTube channel started, less than a year old at the time of this taping, but some good person from Tulsa sent me Guitar House of Tulsa. I have never been to that, but I pulled it up online. It's pretty cool. I'm a frustrated musician like some of you, I'm assuming, out there. Wish I could play guitar. I tell my mom this all the time. They put me through college playing basketball. My parents were, they didn't put me through college. I got a scholarship to play basketball, but they were both basketball coaches. But I'm thinking to myself, if they would have just let me play guitar instead of shoot basketball in the backyard, I'd be like a world-class guitar player because I could really shoot a basketball. But basketball skills don't really translate into adulthood that well, I guess. But anyway, I can still shoot free throws. So that's the background on me. So how does the economy affect annuity rates and annuities in general? Well, let's look at it in a myriad of ways. My previous life, I used to be with Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, Payne Weber, UBS on the stock side of it. The stock market really has no use for annuities. They could care less about annuities. They think annuities are boring. They're all about pie in the sky. Let's go get this great return. And, if you want return on your investment and really good market stuff, you've got to do a non-annuity type product. Annuities are contracts. They're transfer risk contracts that primarily solve for 4 things: principal protection, income for life, legacy, and long-term care, confinement care. And that acronym is PILL, P-I-L-L. But from the economy standpoint, annuities, when you talk about lifetime income, are primarily based price-wise on your life expectancy at the time you decide to start the payments. Interest rates play a secondary role. So how does the economy affect a lifetime income stream annuity like an immediate annuity, a deferred income annuity, a qualified longevity annuity contract, or an income rider? And those are the 4 types that provide lifetime income. Well, interest rates play a secondary role. Obviously, if interest rates were higher and the bogey that you need to look at is the 10-year Treasury, then your income stream would be a little bit higher. But the primary pricing mechanism for lifetime income is your life expectancy at the time you take the payments. And you're at risk of those changing as well. Annuity companies aren't just going to sit here and not make money. I mean, if their interest rates are low and remain low, I guarantee you they're going to look at changing those life expectancy tables so that it projects you to live longer. What does that mean? The payments will be lower because there'll be more of those payments because their projections saying, hey, you're going to live a long time. So that's kind of how the economy has an effect on annuities and on annuity rates. Now, the other thing too is when people can't get good interest rates like CD rates or multi-guarantee annuity fixed rates, then they gravitate toward the markets, the stock market, buying ETFs or mutual funds or whatever to try to get some return on their money. Obviously, there's risk with that. So anytime rates are low in the annuity world, then the stock market's going to get a little bit of a bump from that. Now, the reverse is kind of true too. When people are scared to death and things are happening in the economy that is volatile or in the worldwide market, You know, and at the time of this taping, we're going through the COVID issue. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people are looking to protect their money, and annuities are contracts, and a lot of the fixed annuities will fully protect the principal if you structure them that way. With the 10,000 baby boomers that are hitting 65 years old every single day, a lot of those people are looking for contractual guarantees. So, you know, it really comes down to, what's everything come down to? Fear and greed, right? And unfortunately, a lot of annuities are sold with fear in mind, fear of volatility, fear of the markets going down, fear of all of that. But it really shouldn't be sold like that. Or greed. A lot of annuities are sold via greed, meaning you can get all this upside potential non-guaranteed return. As I tell people all the time, if you're looking for stock market type returns, really good return scenarios, never buy an annuity. Now that's coming from me, Stan The Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, #1 agent out here, licensed in all 50 states, and I've been on the other side advising when I was with Morgan and UBS, Payne Weber and Dean Witter on stocks. I've seen that side. If you want true market growth, never buy an annuity. If you want to transfer risk to solve for lifetime income or principal protection or legacy or long-term care type confinement care, then an annuity might fit. So as I always say in the annuity world, there's no perfect answer, just bad sales pitches. Great example of that was a person called me the other day and they're looking at a lifetime income stream type product. And their comment was, well, I'm gonna wait until interest rates, which is the secondary part of that pricing. Remember, life expectancy plays the primary pricing role. I'm gonna wait till interest rates go up until I buy that annuity, that immediate annuity, deferred income annuity that they were looking at. And you know, he'd been advised on that as well. One of his advisors said, you gotta wait until interest rates go up. There's never a perfect answer here, but if you're waiting to buy a lifetime income stream annuity, then you're gonna have to factor in the payments that you missed while you were waiting. That's just a rational thought. That doesn't mean you have to buy one right now, but what it does mean is you cannot time the purchase. It's like nailing Jello to a wall. You cannot time the purchase of an annuity. There's never a sweet spot or an arbitrage situation that we find sometimes in stocks and mutual funds, bonds, etc., that, oh, this is the right time to buy, or this is kind of the bottom. No, you're buying, with annuities, you're buying a contract. You're transferring the risk to an annuity company to primarily solve for lifetime income, principal protection, legacy, or long-term care, confinement care. That's what you're doing. There's never a perfect time to do that. So if you're trying to time annuities, then you're really making an apples to oranges comparison to how you look at investments and how you look at annuities. They're completely different. You cannot compare the two because one's a contract, the annuity side, and the other is you're shouldering the risk for that investment. That doesn't make annuities better than the stock market or the stock market better than annuities. It really comes down to your risk tolerance and what you're trying to solve for. Remember this, when you're looking at an annuity of any type, ask and answer these two questions. Number one, what do you want the money to contractually do? And when do you want those contractual guarantees to start? Now, from those two answers, you need to go to theannuityman.com, schedule a time to talk with me, and then we'll talk about those contractual guarantees that we've emailed to you, quoting all carriers. And then we can talk about how the economy is affecting it. Maybe we come up with a laddering strategy. I can customize strategies for your specific situation utilizing these contracts. But the bottom line, and in conclusion, the economy does affect annuities, but annuities are contracts. So if you feel comfortable with a contractual guarantee, then it might make sense. So go to this other video I did called How Interest Rates Affect Annuities. Went a little deeper than this, but you need to understand that you just can't time it. I look forward to speaking with you one-on-one. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment if you want to. Go to theannuityman.com, and I'll see you on the next Stan the Annuity Man video.